Hey guys, welcome back. Now, with learning C# over the past couple months, one thing that I found initially pretty hard to kind of understand was the whole concept behind object-oriented programming. So today, I want to take a couple minutes just to talk about probably the three most important factors of OOP and a couple little small examples. I'm going to keep this short. I'm going to cover only basic concepts, but enough to keep you going and enough to kind of quantify and put some context behind what these three portions actually are. Now, three things I'm going to talk about today are encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Now, let's start off with encapsulation. So what really is it? Now, kind of like the dictionary answer is that encapsulation is the idea of a group of objects or items that are treated as a single unit. That really never worked with me. I couldn't really wrap my head around it. But when you think of the word, I said wrap, if you think of a word like wrapper, like something that goes around something and encapsulates it, that kind of frames it in a little better light. Now think of it like this. Putting something or putting a bunch of things under a wrapper really means it kind of doesn't need to be seen, at least not right away. It's vital to a function, but it doesn't need to be messed with. It's something that's kind of in its own container. And then what really hit it home for me to kind of understand encapsulation was there are access specifiers, such as like public, private, or protected, amongst some others. These right here protect or define types of data, so where if it doesn't need to be seen, if it doesn't need to be touched or modified, it can stay in its intended state, which helps with troubleshooting. It helps with code and reliability. And that's kind of the idea behind encapsulation. If something doesn't need to be messed with, but it's still vital for the program or whatever it is at hand, that's when encapsulation is important. Now, the second topic I want to talk about is inheritance. I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm only going to cover one type. And consider it like this. If you inherit something from a family member, let's say your eye color, your height, whatever, that's kind of what we're talking about. In C# with inheritance, you can have a base class and a derived class. Now, what this means is we can write less code. A really cool thing is, let's say you have like a mammal class. Under the mammal class can be any mammal that you can think of. We can all inherit certain traits from that class. We can say, well, guess what? From the mammal class, I inherit the warm-blooded method. Stuff like that reuses code, but also, like I said before, when you reuse code like that, not only are you saving time, you're making troubleshooting a little easier, because if something's wrong, you can pinpoint it because it's in much less space to look. You don't have as broad of an area to search. And the last basic topic I want to talk about is polymorphism, which, breaking down all of the textbook definitions, just think of it like this. It's the ability for code to change. So a method to be used in different ways. Now, a lot of this is dealing with either virtual or abstract methods, and there are different types of polymorphism, but just to get your brain working, to start thinking and to start kind of wrapping your head around what it is just think about using one method for different types of functions. Overloading and using a virtual method, it's almost like you are placing another function or another piece of functionality over an original method. Again, you're writing less code, you're troubleshooting less because you know of less space, you have a less broad area to search, and it makes things a lot neater, and frankly, it's pretty cool to have one piece just be this almost Swiss Army knife type utility. So like I said, this was a basic overview of these three concepts. Hopefully it helps you understand a little bit more, at least to get yourself started to kind of doing some research into it. I'm no expert, however, I like to talk about this stuff. It kind of helps it solidify more in my brain. So if you think about it, maybe you can start talking about it yourself, and hopefully this helps you out. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.